My name is Spencer Kaufman with Social Media Ministries, and this is Pastor Davey Collins with River Valley Church.
Hey, everybody.
Tithing would be 10% to your local church to help grow the body of Christ. Giving would be to any charity, any neighbor, anybody in need, the homeless guy on the corner, the person who phone calls you and says, would you give this month to whatever? That's giving. And that's all above and beyond. That does not come out of the 10% of your gross income.
Correct. So, and
we can give as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus gave 100%.
Yeah, give as much as you can. And I would say this as well. Two things. One, be a part of the church. Be a part of a church that you're not that you can know to a certain extent how the money's being used. We have an annual business meeting, and we break everything down.
It should be fully
and
transparent.
If people have more questions, then we give them another document. Then if people want a deeper one, there's like a 80-page document. And then if people want more, they can sit down with our CFO and talk through all the numbers. And the only thing that we don't put on there is the specific people's names and how much money they make.
Right.
But we do say how much of this budget is allocated towards salaries and benefits. And that's so the church operates off of the tithe. We at River Valley, we tithe off of the tithe. So we believe in the tithe so much that we want to, as a church, trust God with the first tenth. And so that first 10% of all of our money, 10% of it right off the top is immediately sent to support missionaries. So we as a church operate on 90%.
Awesome.
We operate on 90%. And then above and beyond that, we are passionate about above and beyond giving. We believe that you are blessed to be a blessing. And God's perspective is there's more where that came from. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. So what is our financial needs to him? He can supply all of our needs. There's no shortage. There's no lack. There is wisdom, and you should use wisdom. Our pastor, Pastor Rob Ketterling, teaches that you should have a plan, a vision, and a dream above and beyond your tithe. So you have a plan. At the beginning of the year, we set in front of people all the different partners that we have around the world that are preaching the gospel, taking care of needs, and whether it's justice issues, human sex trafficking, refugee crisis, natural disaster relief, feeding hungry kids, taking care of widows, taking care of orphans, digging clean water wells, all of these different partners that we have. And then my wife, Nicole, and I, we sit down and we say, this year we're going to budget this month, this much every week is going to go to what we call, it's called Kingdom Builders. It's where all of that takes care of all those different organizations. So that's your plan. You budget. This is how much I can give every month or every week. And then have a vision. Have a vision for like what could you do someday? Like if you were to move some things around and this were to able to work, like what could you give? Like what could you do to help take care of people around the world? And then have a dream. Like what's your dream? What's the like what if I could
If there were
somehow
no questions.
What if I could somehow leverage everything and give $1 million? Now, I've been working nonprofit my entire adult life, so that's going to take some. In the office, Michael Scott says to Oscar, he says, "Is there any way that you can use your fancy financial footwork?" That would take some serious fancy financial footwork to make that happen. But have a dream, and we should, as believers, be thinking of like, how much could I give?
Yeah.
How much could I?
Could I give 90 and live on 10?
Yeah, how wild would that be?
Like?
How wild would that be? So, I've been rambling a lot, but you should tithe and give that to your local church, and they operate on that tithe, and that's a joy. That is obedient. That's not giving an offering. That's returning to God, and that's saying I'm a part of this church. God, you're my source. I'm returning 10% to you, and then be moved with compassion and respond as there are needs.